Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you for joining us for this webinar today, hosted by Elastic Path. My name is Anna Milevskaya. I head up product marketing at Elastic Path, and today I will be your host and moderator. We are super excited to share Swisscom's digital transformation story with you. We have a very special guest from Swisscom today, Sven Friedli. He's the head of architecture management and technology transformation at Swisscom. Before I invite Sven, I'd love to ask Elastic Path CEO Harry Chemko to welcome Sven and you, our audience. And Harry, over to you.
Hey, thanks, Anna, and a very warm welcome to everyone joining us on this webinar today. It's an exciting one for me. My favorite part about being in this enterprise e-commerce space is getting to work with really some of the world's best brands. It's really tangible to be able to see the business results that our customers get from being able to really quickly iterate on their platform using EP. Swisscom is not only one of the most well-known telecommunications brands in the world, but it's also one of the really most innovative. They're very well known for successfully using more leading edge technologies to enable and bolster their users' overall experiences with their brands. They've done it time and time again, and most recently as well with this digital transformation project. And from spending the last period of time working with Swisscom on this project, I've really come to understand why. They have some of the best and most dedicated people in digital, and they're constantly pushing the envelope of how to create the best digital experiences with their customers, always trying new things and experimenting. And I'm thrilled to be here today to introduce Sven Friedli. Sven is the head of architecture management and technology transformation at Swisscom. He's been there for 11 years, working his way through the organization. And his role now is he's been leading this and other digital transformation projects at Swisscom. And I really want to wholeheartedly thank Sven for being here today to share this Swisscom digital transformation story. And I know that everyone watching is going to get a lot of value out of this. So Sven, again, thank you very much for being here. We're excited to hear the story. And Anna, over to you.
Thanks, Harry, for the introduction. Warm welcome. Without further ado, I would like to invite Sven and have him share his story and lessons learned.
Yeah, thanks, Harry. Thanks, Anna, for the warm welcome. Hi, everybody. I'm Sven, and I'm very happy to tell you the story about our digital transformation with our new omnichannel experience we created for Swisscom. Some words about myself. I now already work for over 11 years at Swisscom. Before I entered the company, I studied computer science and business economics at the University of Applied Science in Bern and worked for a startup in the software development area. Within Swisscom, I first was responsible for several managing roles in the enterprise business group, mostly focusing on managing and delivering IT projects for the company. Since almost 4 years, I'm now responsible for the architecture and technology steering among Swisscom. Because of my background and interest, I personally engage mostly in the space of BSS and OSS. What I will show you today in detail are the following points. I will begin with some context about Swisscom and our overall Swisscom and omnichannel strategy. I will tell you our My Swisscom story and with which architecture we built it up. Further, I will explain you why we have chosen Elastic Path as a commerce application and give you some insights about my key takeaway out of our transformation journey. And last but not least, for sure, I will answer your questions after the presentation. First of all, some context about Switzerland. Like you probably know, Switzerland is a small country based in the center of Europe, with a population of a bit over 8 million persons. Luckily, we have a very high living standard, are highly populated in the cities, and also urban sprawled in other regions because of our high mountains. At Swisscom, we have a bit less than 20,000 employees, 17,000 of them work in Switzerland. We have a revenue of almost 12 billion Swiss francs and an EBITDA of 4 billion. Out of that, we make invests of about 1.6 billion Swiss francs per year in Switzerland. Because of these invests, we have a very good expanded fiber network and wireless network as well. Especially our mobile network is award-winning all over Europe year by year for speed, coverage, and quality. We have a very high footprint in B2C as well as in B2B market for telco and IT services. Some important key figures are the following. We have about 6.5 million mobile customers with a market share of over 60%. With our bundle strategy, we serve to 2.3 million customers our quad play bundle called In1. We deliver to more than 4 million broadband customers high-speed connections and serve to 1.5 million TV customers our own developed TV product. All in all, we can say we're quite successful in the Swiss market, with market shares between 50 and 70%, and in some areas even more. Our position is very good, but like you can see in the previous figures, growing at least in the telco space is quite hard. If we have 6.5 million mobile customers out of a total population of 8 million, there is not a lot of opportunities to grow. Maybe we have to start to sell mobiles to babies or even pets to find new market opportunities. Also, our competitors are catching up day by day with high quality services and very aggressive price plans and propositions. So our strategy is based on 3 pillars. We deliver best customer experience to provide our customers with the best network at all times, regardless of their location. Operational excellence to manage our internal cost structures and be better prepared for new business opportunities and invest in our infrastructure. And third, new growth in our core business as well as in other digital areas. Especially supporting pillar 1 and 2, we started our omnichannel program, which ended up in the My Swisscom experience. Let me introduce you to Sophie. Sophie is our young, dynamic, ambitious user for whom we created the new My Swisscom experience. She's a woman who loves to travel and spend her time in the nature, as well as undertaking things in the city. She's very ambitious also at work and always on the road. She wants to manage her things anytime, anywhere, and she does not want to be bound to opening hour of our shops or spend her time in hotline queues. She's a digital leader and wants to access Swisscom and manage their things by the tip of her fingers with all her electronic devices. Like this, she has more time to do things she likes. But we built the My Swisscom experience not only for Sophie as a customer. Sophie can also be an internal employee which supports our customers with My Swisscom in one of our channels like Shop, Customer Care, and other point of sales. With My Swisscom, we built up a complete new customer center with a mobile-first and one-click experience to access all services in short ways. We deliver our services across all channels. That means self-care, shop, third-party shops, customer care, and even field service are using it. We have a fully seamless experience to adapt to all screens from handies over tablets to desktop environments. With this approach, we have the goals to reach our ambitious targets in the view of efficiency and online shift. We will promote My Swisscom in several above-the-line campaigns to make our app and online channel more visible to the market. And third important goal is to achieve a higher net promoter score with our cool experience and easy-to-use mentality of our omnichannel services. Our customers and agents will love to use Swisscom. Overall, we plan to deliver a significant contribution to our total planned cost savings in year 2019 to 2021 with more online usage and reduced handling time in the channels. Some words about today's situation. Today, we have isolated views in all our channels. So if Sophie has a request and wants to manage it online, these actions are not apparent to the other channels, and thereby they're also not able to support Sophie by, for example, continuing an already started ordering process for her. Also, our channels have to manage a multitude of different applications to support the needs of our customers, which brings them high complexity and also some pains in their daily work. With My Swisscom, we created a new experience with a mobile-first designed GUI for all use cases in self-care and assisted channels. So if Sophie accesses My Swisscom, she has a seamless and easy to use mobile first experience to manage her existing services and also buy new products. The same experience also brings benefits to all other channels. So they can use the new services in a centralized web application and like this deliver an omni-channel support to our customer. The benefits for Sophie and our channel employees is an easy to use and convergent application experience. And on top of that, we even reduce our development and operation costs in IT by phasing out multiple legacy applications. In addition, with the seamless approach of our applications, we only have to develop the functions for all channels once, independent if they use tablets or desktop environments. How do we achieve this new cool experience? First of all, we really strongly focused on an easy and simple usage. The whole new dashboard experience and all important flows were tested with mockups and usability tests with a broad customer acceptance test to get feedback before implementing it. Like this, we build up an experience which excites Sophie. All relevant services and support functions are implemented in My Swisscom. So Sophie gets the support she needs and she expects. My Swisscom recognize and learn from Sophie. This means the relevant services are shown to her upfront. For example, if she often wants to check her billing information, this view is shown the first in My Swisscom. We implemented analytic functionalities to analyze the behavior of our users and present them like this, the most used and relevant services first and foremost. So we offer shortcuts and open doors to all use cases of our products and services to Sophie. This story maybe looks quite nice and logical to you, but to be honest, it wasn't always easy to decide upfront on which kind of use cases we should focus the most. We had a lot of internal discussions about priorities of our features and of the roadmap. At the end, we decided to focus on the online channel and the main wireless use cases the first. We see there the biggest competition in the market, and there is also some easy to take levers to push our online shift. For example, lots of prepaid services could not be managed online in the past. There we have an opportunity to increase the online shift. Beginning of this year, we now delivered all wireless use cases for the online channel and are on our way to also enable the other touch points. We also started enabling wireline. We struggle sometimes with the situation that our daily business and lifecycle tasks absorb too much resources and we cannot give enough focus to our overall transformation roadmap. One of these impacts was, for example, our new product launch of our new wireless product called In1 Mobile Go, which we announced last month. Just as advertisement, In1 Mobile Go is a new wireless price plan with which you get flat data all over Europe at the speed up to 100 megabytes per second. You also have the opportunity to bundle in other flat options like unlimited calls or multiple devices as well. Nevertheless, it was a great success for us to deliver the new product in the expected and very ambitious timeline in My Swisscom. And like this, we could present it to our customers in the new and cool online experience. To simplify our processes and the experience, we also had to simplify our architecture. Before of our transformation, we had a very monolithic architecture where front ends and back ends were tightly coupled. Changes on products, campaigns, and services need a lot of change all over the system landscape. And like this, we had slow time to market and high implementation costs because of these constraints. With the new architecture, we decided to decouple the different domains from each other and ensure that the implementation in all domains can be done autonomous. We have our system of trust for security, identity, and access management capabilities, the system of record for our core BSS and OSS functions, the system of insights for our analytics, BI, and data lake capabilities, our platforms, which contain, for example, our communication and TV services. All these capabilities are run on top of our network and cloud infrastructure. To deliver our front ends the needed performance, we introduced a decoupling layer, which also caches the data, to deliver them in short access time to the system of engagement, which are responsible for the front ends of all our channels. For the system of engagement itself, we decided to go for a 3-layered approach. Layer 1 contains a digital experience with no business logic inside. This is built up as single-page applications integrated in the Adobe Experience Manager. Layer 2 is a service decoupling layer to deliver the service to the front ends. These APIs also have the duty to ensure a secure access to all our data and processes. The layer itself is provided by APG. Layer 3 contains the omnichannel customer engines, which deliver the services for all channels in one centralized way. Most important engine for our ordering processes in this layer is ElasticPath, as a commerce engine, which delivers the configure price quote capabilities centralized for all channels. With this new architecture, we are able to deliver a new and flexible omnichannel ordering experience for all our products. We are able to restructure process steps to the different product needs to increase our conversion rate and adapt the flow steps to variable needs in the different channels. For example, logistic processes are different if you buy online or in the shop. Second main difference is that now all screens have a seamless experience and are optimized for the usage on mobile devices. On the top line of the slide, you see the process flow of our old ordering process. Issues we faced in the past was, for example, that the device selector page was not optimized for mobile screens, and the configuration, checkout, and basket pages were quite confusing and overloaded, especially when you access them by the screen of your mobile phones. Also, the whole process flow was hard-coded and tightly coupled with the system of records, more precisely with our Siebel CRM platform. For those who know Siebel, you probably can imagine what kind of issues you face in a view of performance and complexity with such an approach. On the bottom line, you see the new experience, where all pages are built up seamless and are optimized for mobile screens. We simplified the navigation, and now we are also able to change process steps in a configurable way to our product and channel needs. This delivers a much better experience and also ends up in a better conversion rate. Some words why we have chosen ElasticPath. First of all, we can use ElasticPath as unified commerce engine for all business units and all our channels. Today, we're using it in B2C and B2B for our residential and SME customers. In one central point, we can ensure a consistent pricing and product content. Further, we enable innovation with a tailored experience across B2C and B2B, and we deliver an easy and attractive shopping experience. ElasticPath fits to our modular architecture because it's headless. It fulfills our requirements in a view of performance and scalability, and is able, because of several deployment options, to run on our own and existing enterprise cloud infrastructure. Out of our journey, my key takeaways are the following. First, and most important, a clear business vision is absolutely key for your success. This is mostly a business transformation and not a pure IT project. Because of most of the benefits are driven by business savings, you need a very aligned story. Lots of stakeholders have to be managed if you want to go for an omnichannel approach, and all their needs have to be aligned. You don't want to end up in a situation that you rebuild all channel-specific use cases one-to-one in your new omnichannel GUI. Otherwise, you will end up with very high complexity. So design your processes in an online mobile-first approach. Like this, you will focus on a simple and easy experience. Deviate from this strategy only if you have very good reasons and business drivers. We had a lot of discussions about priorities and scope at the beginning, and sometimes we still have. So fight for your vision. Learn and fast and adapt even faster. Real customer and employee feedback is absolutely instrumental in steering your roadmap and priorities. Our theoretical ideas at the beginning weren't always right. Success in online usage and conversion rate will give you the needed feedback. Bring new services fast and in small steps to production, so you can learn from the feedback and also adjust your roadmap. Third takeaway, a multi-speed architecture is required to support your journey to an omni-channel transformation. High dependencies between the applications are blocking agility and fast time to market. You have to decouple your systems and structure them by microservices. Like this, decentralized decision-making can be empowered, which results in more speed in the implementation. Yes, this is mostly what I want to share with you today with my story. I hope I didn't bother you and could give you some interesting insights about our approach and my learnings. So I will hand over back to you, Anna. Are there any questions from your side or from the audience which I can answer?
Thank you, Sven, for sharing your experience and being candid about it. I know it can be messy, overwhelming with many competing priorities and with many competing stakeholders. I do have a question before we jump to questions from the audience, and I'd like to invite our audience right now to submit all of their questions. So where do you stand in your journey now and where you're headed?
Yeah, like I told you, we first introduced a new experience for our online channel focusing on the wireless products for residential and SME customers. This was a great success for us to bring all customers after 1 year of implementation towards the new applications. Now we are focusing on bringing these services also to the other channels like shop and customer care. As first step, we will focus on customer care and then hand over to the shop use cases. In parallel of these steps, we are also implementing our wireline products. Last phase of the transformation will be that we address the SME wireline products and complete the decommissioning of our old system of records for online, shop, and customer care. Maybe some comments also on customer care. The new experience is built for our first level agents. For second and third level agents, we still have specialized interfaces, for example, in Siebel to support our customers.
Thank you, Sven. So let's tackle some questions from the audience. So I see a question from Samarf. What is the software being used today across different channels?
Yes, there are different components. If you remember the architecture I showed to you, let's first focus on the omni-channel customer engines because they really have the duty to deliver a functionality to all different channels. In the order entry area, we are focusing on Elastic Path as a CPQ and commerce engine. And in identity management area, for example, we decided to go for a homegrown approach, but there are also other technologies we are integrating in this layer. The centralized layer which secures these engines is the APG layer like I showed you. And on top of that, we are building on Angular single page applications which are integrated in the Adobe Experience Manager.
And a follow-up question from Samarf is, does new experience in Elastic Path cover all transactions?
Yes, it covers all transactions in the telco space.
Great. There's a question from Amit. Was Siebel retained or completely removed in your architecture?
At the moment, we hadn't made a decision on that yet. With the introduction of the new system of engagement layer, like I showed you, we don't have any plans to decommissioning Siebel. But for sure, it would be easier to do a step like this if you decouple the front ends where the channels are using from the back ends.
And there's a follow-up question from Amit. And how is asset-based ordering, MACD, done in Elastic Path?
Most of the functionalities are built on Elastic Path itself. Some of the asset-based processes we had to adjust to the existing standard product to fulfill the needs of our products.
All right, we have another question from this Krzysztof. Why you decided not to replace ATG with EP?
Sorry, ATG?
ATG.
Sorry, I don't know what you mean with ATG.
Here, it's Oracle platform.
Okay, So you mean Siebel as a CRM? There are many core functionalities will still remain in Siebel, and also to support the specific channel needs of second and third level agents. There, we don't have the approach to bring these all to the online channel.
Thank you, Sven. Harry, do you have anything to add on this topic?
No, I think Christoph might have been mentioning, talking about Apogee, not ATG, from his question there, which is probably, so think of the security layer there.
Okay.
Okay, maybe some words about APG. It fulfills quite good our needs in the view of security, and you have to have secure your data and processes towards the front end, which are accessed directly by the internet. And there we think APG fits good to fulfill these security needs.
Yeah, maybe a follow-up on that, Sven. A lot of the API orchestration and just kind of the way that the experience is being served through the EP APIs kind of feed into Apogee, where they just kind of provide that security layer. Is that correct? That's
correct, yes. And we also sometimes are accessing through the APIs of Elastic Path through this layer directly.
There's a question from Andre. What other products were you comparing against Elastic Path?
Well, like I told you, with our omnichannel approach, we're focusing on res and SME customers. In the SME space, we are especially focusing on the telco products. They are IT near products, which we don't have a plan to bring them to the omnichannel solution yet.
All right, while we're waiting for additional questions from the audience, what advice would you give to someone who's about to begin their digital transformation, someone who is contemplating and building maybe a business case? What can they expect based on your experience?
Yeah, when you remember back when we started, for sure at the beginning we were facing lots of technical issues. We are introducing a new framework on our own cloud infrastructure. We introduced a combination of new technologies. To be honest, we try to tackle too many topics at the beginning. And so my advice is really to prioritize and focus at all time. You must have a clear business vision, so you don't try to tackle too many topics at once. And like you also already told you, learn from the feedback you get from your customers and employee, and like this, you're able to adjust your roadmap. I think like this, your project can get to success.
All right, let's see. There are more questions from the audience. Which other software solutions were evaluated when selecting omnichannel solution before selecting Elastic Path?
We made quite a broad RFE and RFP process for evaluating. I think it's too much content to share now all details in this session.
Okay. There's a question from Manoj. While selecting Elastic Path, did you compare any other COTS products, and what helped you in down selecting Elastic Path?
Well, I think that the decision why choosing Elastic Path was that it's headless and it really fitted the best to our new layered and modular architecture.
Thank you, Sven. Feel free, everyone in the audience, to provide your questions. So why did you select a headless platform? Is it decoupling was a primary reason? Anything else that went into your decision?
Yeah, I think decoupling was for sure the main driver, but also like this, if you have a headless approach, not only for CPQ, also for the other capabilities, you're more flexible to use them in all different channels. And channels don't only have to be online channels or shop or customer care. It also can be in the future chatbots and so on. So I think there you have the biggest flexibility to provide these services in a centralized way to all the channels.
Thank you, Sven. I'd like again to invite the audience to submit your questions using the Q&A button. We still have a few minutes left in this webinar. So Sven, at what point did you realize that you need to bring in a new solution? What basically prompted you to get started on this journey?
Well, the whole journey started with one of our internal cost saving cases. Our main driver was that we wanted to fulfill the needs of the future. And there we see that increasing our online shift, there we have some gaps to catch up, and delivering a new and great experience to our customer and all channel employees was for sure also one of our goals. With the new architecture, we also have more flexibility and reduced development and operation costs and a faster time to market.
There's a question from Shala. What new channels and touch points will Swisscom be introducing to continue their digital transformation?
Yes, like I told you, first step was the online channel and the app channel itself. Now we are focusing on introducing the functionalities to customer care and then also to shop and field services. But we also have thoughts to include these services to our existing chatbot channel as well.
Chatbot, how interesting. There's another question from the audience. How do you see Elastic Path solution applicability to B2B enterprise scenarios?
For all analyses we made, that it fits very well to B2B solutions. And I think maybe Harry, you can also give some insight in your product roadmap. You're also focusing on B2B very strongly for new capabilities as well.
Harry, any comments from you? Well, Sven, I have another question for you. You mentioned that the end result wasn't exactly what you set out to do. Could you tell us more what you meant by that?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is in the approach we tackled. Our initial strategy was that we first will introduce the new solution for all products for the online channel first, then focus on introducing our shops, and at the end, our customer care. But during the transformation, we found out that with such approach, we also will have quite a lot of sunk costs, because then all the changes, if you, for example, introduce a new product, during the whole transformation journey would have to be implemented twice, in the old architecture and in the new. And I think with our new approach, we are now more flexible to tackle these issues, and like this, we adjusted now the roadmap, like I told you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Any other questions from the audience? Sven, anything else? Is there anything else would you like to add before we wrap this up? Any other advice?
No, I think I could mention all the points which I wanted. If you have any additional questions, feel free also to access me. You will get my information at the end of the session.
There's a question from Samarv. How much of customization or build was done over and above what Elastic Path provided?
Well, we try to reuse on the capabilities like they are. For telco services, together with our framework, we adjusted to some telco needs, which helped us to fulfill the needs of our journey.
Okay. Let's see. There's a question from Amit. What are the main issues encountered during the coexistence of old and new architecture? How were those tackled?
I think we found quite a good approach that, at least from a customer perspective, it seems to be quite seamless if you are in the old or the new architecture. From a technical point of view, it's always about prioritizing your roadmap and features like this that you have as less as sunk cost as possible during your journey. But this is a day-by-day decision with all inputs you get.
Thank you. Any other questions? Well, I'd like to thank our audience for participating, and I'd love to thank you, Sven, for taking the time to share your story and all the advice with us. I really appreciate that, and we look forward to additional stories with you as you continue your digital transformation journey.
Thank you also from my side. It was a pleasure to share my thoughts with you. Goodbye.